Japan, a country rich in culture and traditions. Japan is definitely on the list of places that I want to visit. But Japan, much like any other country, has a dark side filled with unsolved mysteries that will stump even the best detectives out there. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today I'm bringing you the Top 10 Scary True Unsolved Mysteries from Japan, Part 2. Now this is Part 2, so if you want, check out the first part to this series as well. And with that being said, let me know in the comments below where you're from and what's the thing that you like best about your country. Starting off this countdown, we have the dismemberment. On April 23rd, 1994, a park worker at Inokashira Park in Tokyo discovered 24 pieces of human body parts in a trash can at the park. The bag consisted of 2 feet, a right shoulder, an ankle, and flesh and bones. The head and chest were never found. What's odd was that the body parts were precisely cut into 20-centimeter pieces, and they were drained completely of blood. What's sad is that there were signs of internal bleeding in the muscles, meaning that he was probably cut while he was still alive. It was thought that the body belonged to a top-class architect, but his name was never released. They just referred to him by S, and he was a 35-year-old man. Now, no one has been charged for this crime, and the statute of limitations passed in 2009. No one knows why S was targeted and killed. But one theory suggests that maybe his organs were stolen since his torso was never found. In our 9th spot, we have the manhole murder. On the morning of January 14th, 1997, a manhole in Tama City was overflowing, causing sewage to leak onto the streets. When workers opened the manhole, they found a mannequin floating in the sewage. Except it wasn't a mannequin. It was the body of a woman named Fukiko Yagahashi, a 39-year-old kindergarten teacher who disappeared a year before. Yagahashi disappeared on February 28th, 1996. She was last seen at a grocery store around 7 p.m. When she was found, she was in the same clothes that she had disappeared in, except her hair had been cut short. On top of that, her diary was missing, and apparently she didn't go anywhere without it. It was thought to have been destroyed because maybe it pointed out who the killer was. Although the killer wasn't caught, it was thought that maybe the killer was a local man or a friend of hers. But we still truly don't know. Making our way down the list at number 8, we have The Note. On September 2nd, 1994, 27-year-old Mayumi Arashi vanished after leaving her family home in Tokyo, leaving behind her newborn child. On that day, she told her sister Yoko that she was going to meet her friend by the name of B. The next day, she didn't come home. B was contacted and turns out that she never had plans to meet him in the first place. Then her sister found a note from Mayumi saying that she was really going to meet someone by the name of A. The police never referred to anyone by their full names, it was just a letter. Yoko hired a PA to find A, but he was never found guilty. Now, here's where it gets strange. In 2011, the family did a television interview about Mayumi. In the interview, Mayumi's father had a note in the back of his room on a shelf that said, "Don't believe what Yoko says." Mayumi was never found and no one knows what truly happened. But looks like her sister might have been involved. In our 7th spot, we have the suicide forest. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Okigahara, aka Japan's suicide forest. This is a huge mystery on its own. Basically, it's the forest that people go to if they want to commit suicide, often by hanging themselves off of a tree limb. But why this particular forest? How did it start? Well, it's theorized that a 1960 book called Kuro Jukai started this concept. In the book, a heartbroken lover goes to the sea of trees to end her life. Other people believe that the forest has some sort of curse that forces people into thinking suicidal thoughts. Either way, it remains one of Japan's greatest and most famous mysteries. Coming in at number 6, we have JUNKO Kobayashi. On September 9th, 1996, 21-year-old JUNKO Kobayashi was found dead inside her home. Her home had been almost entirely destroyed by a fire. However, when her body was found, she had been stabbed to death, her arms and legs were bound, and she was wrapped in a blanket. Police had no suspects. Then in September of 2009, another 21-year-old student was killed under similar circumstances. She was stabbed to death and her apartment was burned. Police believe that the cases are connected, but have no idea how or why or who the killer is. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with MIYAKO HIRAOKA. On November 6, 2009, a mushroom collector discovered a woman's decapitated head, torso, left ankle, and thigh bone. Later, the victim was identified as MIYAKO HIRAOKA, a 19-year-old student. She was last seen leaving her job at an ice cream parlor around 9:30 p.m. What's creepy is that leading up to her disappearance and eventual murder, she told her parents she was scared of walking home from work. In fact, she was so scared that she was planning on quitting her job and getting one closer to home. So, was she being stalked or followed? We don't know, and not all of her body parts have been found. In our 4th spot, we have the nylon ropes mystery. For this case, nothing truly bad or criminal happened, but it still is very eerie. So back in 1992, Japan had a show called Tentai Night Scoop, which translates to Detective's Night Scoop. For this show, celebrities or the hosts would try to debunk mysteries. People would send them tips on things that they wanted debunked, like paranormal sightings. Now, one episode that aired on March 20th, 1992 was quite odd. The case they were investigating involved nylon ropes. Basically, someone was tying packing ropes to telephone poles, guardrails, and other things in Osaka. What was weird was that no one had ever seen anyone tying these ropes to things. Yet Osaka is a densely populated area, so it's pretty strange that no one saw anything. Now, in this episode, the host followed a trail of the ropes until he reached an alleyway. There in the alleyway, there were hundreds of thousands of ropes tied all over the place. The host and the cameraman started getting uncomfortable and decided to head back. However, when they turned back to go the way that they came, they found that more ropes had been tied up, but no one had been there. The episode ended with them saying that they weren't going to be doing any further reporting on this case. Again, this was very odd because this show never left any mystery unsolved, except this one. It's also said that whenever someone uploads this episode to YouTube, it immediately gets taken down and deleted. So the original episode is very hard, if not impossible, to track down to watch. All that's left are screenshots of it. So yeah, I don't know what's up with this one, but this is a case of something that's so creepy when nothing that scary really happened. In our 3rd spot, we have the ghost ships. Since 2013, weird old wooden boats have been washing up on the coast of northern Japan. What's eerie is that sometimes these boats were empty, but other times they would have corpses or skeletons in them. Hence why it was given the name ghost ships. In 2018 alone, 100 boats washed up. 5 corpses and 2 human heads were found. Although we don't truly know what's going on with these boats, it's thought that they are coming from North Korea. It's theorized that because of the poverty in North Korea, fishermen are fishing further from home and then being killed at sea. Over the years, the amount of boats and bodies washing up in Japan are increasing, and we still don't truly have all the answers. Moving on to number 2, we have the cyanide poisoning. On August 31st, 1998, 58-year-old Ikijiro Nakazawa drank a can of oolong tea with his breakfast. That's when suddenly he went into cardiac arrest. He died less than 2 hours after drinking the beverage. The next day, a grocery store worker discovered that some canned teas looked tampered with. Upon investigating, officers found that the cans had small holes poked into the bottom of them, and they contained 5 grams of cyanide. Nakazawa had died from cyanide poisoning, but the poisoner was never found. And in our number 1 spot, we have the Wednesday Strangler. From 1975 to 1989, several women were murdered in Western Japan. What was weird was that out of the 7 women, 6 disappeared on Wednesdays, either in the evening or night. 5 of the victims died by strangulation, hence why the case was given the name Wednesday Strangler. The other 2 bodies were too decayed to determine the cause of death. Now, 3 of the victims were found together in 1989 near the town of Kitagata. A man was arrested and tried for these murders, but was later found innocent. To this day, the person behind these murders hasn't been caught. And that's all for today's video. Let's move on to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments from my video, Top 10 Scary Trolls Theories Part 2. Stevie Lowe commented, "I have never been this early. Please feature me." There you go. Here's your reward for being early. Those who have their post notifications turned on are often featured, so if you want to be featured, hit that bell. Marky Stark commented, I feel like she is the one who would help you pick up your books and take them to your class. Yeah, sounds like me. I was friends with like everyone in high school. I was nice to everyone. Aw. Andrew Scolari commented, hey Lindsay, you rock. No, Andrew, you rock. You the best. And that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see you. Except this one. There's something on my leg. I, for real, thought there was a centipede like crawling up my leg or something. Fukiko Yagihashi. Mayumi Arashi. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Okigahara. Gahara.